is a beast. All right. Similar stuff. Plummet, that's been printed a million times. Mutiny, pretty standard stuff. Enter the Unknown. And we got this guy. Now there's a set of these that all, reveal a creature of X type or pay X. A 2/2 flying lifelink. It seems like it's just a worse version of Vampire Nighthawk in that it doesn't have the Death Touch. It doesn't have 2/3 body. However, once you add all the Vampire Tribal stuff in and the fact that you're going to be pumping this thing up a whole lot, the lifelink is going to shut down a lot of those burn decks that now just lost the Rampaging Ferocidon. I think it's got some serious potential. Honestly, for standard play, if you're doing Vampire decks, this might have some potential. It just depends. Can we get the current decks to a point with Tribal that they actually get past some of the fringe decks that we've seen? Again, the blue-black control or Esper decks that we've seen, can the Tribal actually push past them? So far, from what I've heard from a few people playtesting stuff, Grixis, Esper, and blue-black control seem to just be dominating everything, so they just destroy all the Tribal decks. However, we haven't seen nearly enough playtesting with only, at this point of the video, 4 days worth of testing to see what actually happens. Alright, Storm the Vault. This card is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'm very thankful they printed it in blue-red, not just straight blue. If it was straight blue, it'd be insane. So, pretty simple mechanic. When one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a colorless treasure artifact token, which we all know at this point is sacrifice, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. But if you have 5 or more artifacts, transform it. Blue-red, this is pretty easy. Specifically for Commander, every time I've seen this, you basically don't have a chance to get rid of this before it flips. And this is the great thing. This is reprinting, in my opinion, a better version of a card that is banned in Commander. Because it taps for 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, then has the effect of tap 1 blue, add 1 blue for every artifact you control. If you're playing a Brea deck, for example, you can just play this, flip it. Like that. No problem. This is going to be absolutely insane card. I haven't had the quote-unquote joy of playing against it yet in Commander, although I've seen a few decks starting to run it. I think this is going to be a pretty hot card, honestly. As far as Standard, we start seeing Grixis Pirates, anything, this can ramp out, but I don't know, maybe some sort of a Grixis control deck where you build up enough treasure, flip it, and I mean, having that much mana is typically not something you're going to see for an aggro deck. But seeing that much mana, using it in something, I can't even imagine. Maybe new blue legendary dinosaur as a finisher. That thing seems pretty strong. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely going to watch that card, see what happens with that. All right. Going to see it's a lot of the same stuff here. All right, so here's our rare. Paladin of Atonement. It's pretty simplistic card. However, it's a 1/1 for 2. It's got Vampire for tribal aspects. If you lost life last turn, you put a counter on it, and then you can gain some life later on. Not only is it going to synergize well with all the other tribal stuff, I'm not going to say that this is going to be an expensive card, but I definitely think if you're running vampires, this is going to be an auto-include in majority of those decks. Edgar Markov decks, going to love this card. Absolutely love that card. All right. Now there we go. There's the vampire guy. Again, pretty simple mechanic. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. Edgar deck's going to love this for Commander. Standard play, we'll see what ends up happening. I'm very glad we got a copy of this card. Release to the Wind. It's a very interesting thing for Standard. I don't know myself. I personally, if I'm going to run a control deck, I might want to run a copy of this because it exiles any non-land permanent. Then as long as it remains exiled, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. This is insane. So far, I've used this in Commander twice. Both times, I won the game within the next 2 turns. First game, I stole an Omniscience. The second game, I stole a Tamiyo, then proceeded to play Deep Glow Skate and also the Tamiyo. This card is absolutely bonkers. I expect to see this in almost every single blue deck for Commander. If you're not running it, I'd be very surprised. For Standard play, I still think that maybe a control deck could use this, especially if someone's running a big bomb. You just hold on to this, even as a 1 or 2 of. Hold on to something like this. When they go to swing, you just exile their thing. Then, following turn, you just play it. Just drop it right into play, and you have whatever they had, and you can finish them off with that. Awesome card. All right, so we're starting to get down to about halfway through the box. Pretty simple stuff. Again, going through, starting to get faster and faster. Legendary Vampire. So in prep for this video, I decided to take a look at the spoilers again last night. You know, obviously makes sense. See what was up, and the more I read this card, the more I realized this card is absolutely insane. So I've been looking at building for myself. I have a blue deck, a red deck, a green deck. I'm looking at something with black, white, and nothing seemed to really catch my eye. So I was thinking going Doran. This one seems like it might be up my alley for black, white, just to kind of fill the color wheel. 1/1 lifelink for 4. Seems a little overkill. But whenever any creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then when she dies, create X/1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is her power. A couple pump spells, a couple kill spells, a way to make her maybe survive. This thing is absolutely gross. I would toss this in Eddie Edgar deck immediately, and I'm really considering dropping my idea of building a budget Doran deck myself and running her. She seems absolutely terrifying on the field. The more I read into some of this stuff, the more I'm like, I think this has some serious power. I don't know about Standard play. Again, too much is in flux at the moment. I don't know how well Vampire's going to do, especially a 1/1 for 4. Depends on, I guess, what kind of removal they have. But if you can find a way to protect this and wipe off the field with, 5 or 6 creatures, especially in Commander, it's super easy to do this. Choose something that, just can basically wrath the field and leave you with 1 creature. You end up putting on 10 or 15 counters on her, plus all the other vampire tribal stuff they have in black and white. I would almost run this over Edgar most times. Sure, he puts in a couple little 1/1s every time you cast a vampire. That's pretty solid. I don't know. I think she's got a lot of serious potential. All right, here we go. More goblins. So this guy's pretty cool. I really like this guy. When you do damage to the opposing player, if you have City Blessing, draw a card. It's a 2/4 death touch for 2. Pirate, human, great tribes. Not sure we'll be seeing Standard play, but I love the art on that. I'm just going to zoom up on that. I love the art on that. And, well, we got a foil dinosaur. I think I know a regular of ours who's going to be wanting all the foil dinosaurs, so I'm going to actually put that in with the rares. We got an emblem, so that's a pretty cool pack. And this guy, Ixalan. So I've been running him as a commander since he was spoiled. And let me tell you, this guy doesn't look as strong as he is, but a couple extra combat phase things, a way to copy his ability when he attacks, and this thing is crazy. Just being able to exile and cast things for free in multiplayer just exponentially grows this guy into gross proportions. And there's nothing better than playing something like this where you're not playing the extra turn cards, you're not playing the control cards, you're not playing the $600 land base, but you're exiling their stuff. You're either getting rid of their expensive lands or you're casting their expensive cards. And you did it with this guy who cost about $5 to $6. Amazing. Love that card. I think a lot of red decks are going to be running that. So here we are. We're about halfway through the box now. So this sounds like a good time. So we've got a little bit of a contest we're going to be doing with our first box opening. So essentially we're looking for, as per always, everyone's looking for likes and subscribes, whatnot. We're looking actually more for feedback, although likes and subscribes would always be good. We're looking more for feedback on the audio quality, the video quality, if this is something you'd like to see more of. We do plan on going forward this year and having more things. Battle reports for Warhammer and 40K, potentially other games as well. We're going to be trying to do more unboxing videos. So you'll see more of this stuff. The better it goes, the more contests we do, the more things we open. Maybe you'd like to see us open cases of cards and start giving them away. One of the things I would be liking to look at, which I've seen some success online, which I'm trying to play around with how to do this. Essentially, it's a lottery where you pay in on booster box for one color. So you got your 5 colors, you got colorless, you got lands, you got multicolor. So you pay in a percentage of the booster box price based on that color. We open the box and you get whatever opens out of that box of that color. So if you really like your red cards, you can say, okay, I'll put $40 down. Any red card opened out of this box right here, I get. We open it on here, we stream it live, and you know exactly what card you get from your boxes. Instead of buying a full booster box, it's a little bit more of a budget, and if you really focus on the red cards, go for it. Obviously, it wouldn't be $40 per color. It would depend on, hey, if all the big expensive cards are multicolor in this set, well, that's going to cost a little bit more to get it. So, and we'll kind of play around with, see how that goes. Other options would just be simply everyone pays in a flat price and we assign you one color at random. So we divide a booster box and say 6, 7 parts. You put your name in and we draw and like, hey, here's this person got red, this person got green, and then we open everything else and that's what you end up getting afterwards. So these are a few of the different options we have. Also, we'd like to be running a little bit of a contest. So for your feedback, again, likes and subscribes, everyone's got to plug that stuff. I hate doing it, but likes and subscribes are what's going to make or break us here. So likes and subscribes would be great, but right now, if you can just give us some honest to God good feedback, we will enter you in a draw where you will win not 1, not 2, but 4 pre-release entries for our next pre-release. That's right, all 4 pre-releases. Typically we have 3, we're going to be going 4 on this next one. So there'll be Friday midnight, there'll be Friday at noon, Saturday at noon, Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 6 p.m. So we'll have 4 pre-releases and you'll be entered in all of them. If we get some good success off of this, as we start building Sequence itself as a company, as we start building, hopefully we can open more boxes, give away more prizes, because ultimately everyone wants free stuff, right? So with that shameless plug put in there, let's get back on to the other half of this box and see what we can open. I know that for a fact there's got to be a couple more cool mythics in there. A couple that I want to pull for the store, obviously. And there's a few that I actually just want to discuss and talk about, because they're just really cool cards. So again, commons, uncommons, we're kind of blowing through those pretty fast nowadays. Speaking of which, there's one I wanted right there. That couldn't have worked out any better. This is an amazing card as one of the 2 dinosaurs that you could run potentially for Commander as your general. So not only, it's a 9/9 for 9, but Vigilance, Trample, Reach, untaps when you cast it, untap all lands you control. Then it has a way to deal with creatures, artifacts, enchantments, or gaining life. I want to see a control deck built around this. Naya control just does not seem like a thing most times. I want to see a Naya control deck. Somebody please build me a standard Naya control deck and this is the finisher. And I will provide you the card. It's just awesome. Alright, here's a rare, another plug for Minecraft for some reason now. Path of Discovery. This is a pretty cool card. I like this card. Specifically for Commander, but again, we play a lot of Commander here, so we're a little biased on that. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. Pretty simple mechanic. Just play a creature, reveal. Helps you dig those land cards out so you can start getting to other stuff. Also makes your creatures bigger. I really want to try this in my Selvala deck. It seems really interesting in the fact that I can play Selvala, get enough mana using her. This is of the wilds, not the explorer. Make enough mana, I cast another creature, makes it bigger, so I can tap for more mana, so I can play bigger creatures, and just go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, you know what? If I hit a land, awesome, because that means I'm drawing into another giant creature next turn. Absolutely awesome. All right. So, Donna's Climb. Oh, here I am throwing all my cards all over the place. All right. Donna's Climb. This is another one that I immediately looked at, and first day I thought, oh man, I really want to build an Atraxa deck again. But beginning of combat on your turn.